Hi guys, Belinda here. Quick market breakdown of, US30 and how we caught a 16-hour trade, if I'm not mistaken, and then a 18-hour trade on US30 today simply by just following my rules. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next, guys. Let me know. I'll deliver. Trust me. I'll deliver whatever you want to know next. Comment down below or just text me on Instagram and then I'll definitely make the video for that. So in today's thingy here, right? So first things first is that when price opened, right? Because this was when price had just opened. Right. Let me just make sure. Let's go for 1 minute. Quickly, I just want to see something. Yeah, okay. So now on the daily time frame, right? What I want you guys to understand is that price usually reacts off of certain zones, right? So what I saw at the time, right, I was like, okay, since this is a impulse and then we are correcting, so we are going to get a impulse to the upside. But from my own understanding, all I want to see price doing here, because I feel like we are still going to sell off. I just want price to come and induce these highs here. That's the only thing I want from US30 before I can like fully, swing this guy to a possible area, you know, maybe back to, this specific area that we have over here, right? But anyway, nonetheless, so when I got to the daily time frame, I saw that, okay, this candlestick is yet to open, but you can already tell, ah, man, by the way, this candlestick is opening that, something is wrong, right? So I went to then a 4 hour. So when I got to the 4 hour time frame, I kind of understood why we will be buying today, right? And it's simply because price found a reactional point. So what usually happens is that a 4 hours reactional point is going to give us a daily. Oh, okay. What am I doing? Right, it's going to give us a daily pullback. Guys, my mind just glitched for a second here. Yeah, 4 hours reactional point, right, is going to give you a daily pullback. That's what it's going to give you, right? Meaning that's why we were actually buying today, right? So also now, since we have this demand area here that's resting here, right? One thing I tell my students as well is that the reason why price is reacting the whole time here. You see how it's just reacting all of these wicks here. We're actually in the midpoint. We are in the equilibrium stage of the market. So usually when price is in the equilibrium stage of the market, this is not where price would usually react, reject, or it will continue. It reacts, it rejects, or it continues, meaning that you see how it's reacting here the whole time, but it's also rejecting. Or it can simply just continue going lower, right? So we are currently in the equilibrium stage of the market, right? So then moving on to a 1 hour, just to make sure, everything that I want to see is there, right? Let me see. Yeah, okay. So then we went lower to like a 3 minute time frame. We went to the lowest time frame there is, right? For me, which is the 3 minute, right? So now things got a bit interesting once I got to the 3 minute, right? So this is the 4 hours reactional point. Yeah, let's just fix this guy like this. So then things quite got interesting for me a bit because I'm like, how? Right? So again, you'd notice again that we're actually sitting on another demand zone here, right? Where price just reacted inside of this demand area. But now for me, the only thing I wanted to see here is that I wanted to see, price taking out this low here, like this. Meaning that I'm using this low as my inducement or something, right? Something like this. And then when I saw this gap, but before guys, I actually analyzed, I want to show you guys something. You see, now this broker has a gap. This Capital Com. The other broker doesn't have a gap. For example, this one. You see, this trader, this broker here doesn't have a gap here. There's no gap, right? Other brokers as well. So I would advise you, please, to just go through, the brokers just to make sure that, listen, am I seeing what I need to see, right? So moving on. So then after that, obviously price now eliminated this area here. So my area of interest, like I said, right, a lot of people would obviously want to close their trades maybe somewhere here because there's a possible supply area here on the other broker, right? Because here there's no supply here. Let's check the 1 minute. There's no supply area here, but now if we go to like a different broker, maybe like this one, let me see something. Let's try this one. You see on this broker here, guys, let me just remove all of these guys here. Right. You see on this broker, look. You see what I mean? There's a supply, but on the other brokers, there's no supply area there, right? So now this is how this trade actually came in for me. Since well, right? I wanted to see price coming back and inducing these highs here, right? Because on this broker, there's no supply area, right? So usually if there's no supply area, what price is most likely going to do is that price is generally just going to, induce and then continue going lower, right? But bear in mind, we're already bullish for the day only, right? So this is what I wanted to see for me, right? The first TP for some of the people were probably going to be somewhere here because, I mean, obviously, yeah, the gap is closed, right? So since well now price reacted there, this is what I wanted to see here. I think it's the 2 minutes. Was it the 2 minute? No, it was the 1 minute. It was the 1 minute. Right. So since well, price already had kind of like reacted over here, right? I allowed price to kind of like, so price it took out this area here, right? But bear in mind, this area is now a strong area, this area. Price cannot take out this area, right? So then after that, yeah. After that, this is now what price left for us now. You get it? Price left for us here because it's quite simple. Price just reacted off of this area right here. It's going to react off of this area before going inside, right? So if we go to like maybe a 3 minute time frame. No, man. Right. And we do this. A lot of us are going to take our opportunity here because on this demand area, I mean, like, oh, it would make sense, right? To take opportunity here, but you're actually in the midpoint here, right? So we don't want to do that. Let's play price a bit more. Yeah, like that, right? We're in the midpoint here. You get it? So if we're in the midpoint here, like I said, usually when we are in the midpoint, price will do something like this. Let's say this is the midpoint. Price will, it will react here, possibly find a supply area if there is one. Go down, react again, play around, and then continue going lower. So since we're in the midpoint, mind you guys, I was almost caught in this area here yesterday. Right? Not yesterday, today, right? So then I pulled out this again. I'm like, I do not want problems, right? So we use this area here as our inducement, this area. Whereas I wanted to see price coming back and doing what? I wanted to see price coming back and taking out this area here, like this, right? And then our opportunity came right somewhere inside here, right? Like that. Are you with me? Are you guys with me or what? It's a long story. Something like this, right? Whereas obviously our entry was somewhere here. Let's go back to the 3 minutes. Yeah, right. And then obviously our stop loss was the 1 minute strong low, right? Which is this area here, right? Something like this. And then obviously where did we take price to now? We took this guy here. Because what I wanted to see here, which is something you guys are gonna see, usually since well, this is the area where price has to induce. Usually price will take out, tap in, induce this area, come back a bit lower, and then push up like that. All right. So we can possibly delete this guy here. All right. And maybe do something like this. Yeah. Okay. And then after that, price came, of course, and then tapped us in. Like I said, somebody's TP was probably hit, I don't know, like that, right? So now here comes the interesting part. This cannot be a 9R because it was like 16, but hey, it's fine because the stop loss was not as tight, not as big, I mean. Right. Yeah. Somewhere like here. Right. So now, moving on. Since we're price hit TP, what I want you guys to realize is one thing. Price will always induce an area. Find out where is the inducement happening? Where is it going to take place? Right? So since we're price induced this area, right? A lot of us are waiting for our opportunities here. Right? Whereas price comes here and then it pushes up. But we have this demand area here that we are waiting for, meaning that it would make sense for us to, wait for price to come back all the way here. Because you'd also notice that this is a demand zone, but it's not the real one. This one, for my pure supply and demand trade, this is not the real demand. The real one is sitting here, right? Like this, meaning that if ever I was going to go about this entry like this, I would use this demand area maybe to push price up, maybe back to a supply, and then rather wait for my entries to come in somewhere here, like this, right? Because obviously another thing as well is that price must come back and wipe out all of these lows here. You get it? So that price can kind of like, rebalance, if that makes sense, right? After that, price kept on going and going. But mind you guys, we didn't take this one. I'm just showing you guys like an example of what do I mean by a price usually, doesn't respect certain areas. You see this one? Somebody saw a demand area here. It's something like this actually, where price would do this, right? Pushes up, it leaves this fake demand first. See here. And then sometimes it reacts, sometimes it doesn't. But this is the midpoint, mind you. It finds maybe it induces here, maybe somewhere here. It finds a supply area, it pushes down to maybe a real demand here, right? And then from here, you can take opportunities going higher. Meaning that the one that's in the middle, please don't take it. Same thing with supply zones, right? Price will do this. Maybe for an example, you see this guy here, right? This supply area here. But the real one is maybe above it, somewhere here, like this. After that, you enter here, you see a small profit, and then price takes you out, only to tap into a real supply, and then it goes lower. So watch out, be aware of those things, pay attention, to these types of, things that we usually see in the market, right? So do not get caught. See this demand area. So here price probably, didn't come back to this demand area, which it happens because like generally it generally happens. So this is the first trade that we caught here on US30. I actually posted the setup on Instagram actually. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well, please. Guys. Right. Something like this. You see what I mean when I say price usually induces, the moment it induces, it will go down because this is just a major, pullback. But anyway, moving on to the last setup that we took. So let's just leave this guy quickly like this so that we can quickly find that setup. It happened around 3. What's this one? Yeah, yeah. So around 3 came. I'm like, okay, no, it's all right. It's okay. It's all good. All right. Let me just do this quickly. Yeah, it was, yeah. Okay. Right. So now, the second entry came quite simple, man. You see this one was quite easy to tell. Like you could tell what's going to happen way before it even happens, man. Right. So first things first, this was our strong area here, like this. Where price obviously couldn't break this area here, right? And then obviously, this was our demand zone was waiting here. This was our demand area here, right? Like this. And then obviously, I wanted to see price, obviously, since our price already did it here, I wanted to see price coming back and taking out this area here for me, like this. Something like this, right? And then obviously our entry came right about here. Right, but it was an entry without full-on confirmation because usually for me an entry with full-on confirmation would be something like this, right? We have a low break, I'm waiting for a high break, something like this, price comes back inside here and then it pushes up. But you'll see how it actually did come back after it broke a high, right? And then obviously this one is quite simple, man. You can clearly tell that okay, there's some sort of a supply area here, probably on like a different broker. Let me go check. See this one. Nope. Mm. Yeah, you see on this broker here, the supply area that I showed you guys on the other broker that's not there. That's that supply area there, right? So since well, no man, it's not this one. Guys, which one was it now? Yeah, yeah. Right. Like this. So since well, This one was quite simple, man. We're using this supply, this false supply area to push price down because somebody's already trapped here. Somebody's thinking that, okay, since well, I took this area here, I can possibly, target whatever low here, only for price to take them out, right? So then our TP was genuinely this area here because it's a previous high here, right? Like this. Whereas I know that, okay, once price takes out this area, we are going to get a massive drop to the downside, right? So, yeah, something like this, man. Nothing complicated. You see what I mean here when I said that price came back here? Again, the moment it broke this area here, right? If I can do this, because the full-on confirmation would be low break, high break, and then I enter somewhere here. You get it? But now since well, I'm in here by this demand area, I knew that, okay, there's a specific area that's already a strong area, which is this area here. That price has the lowest chances of breaking, right? So yeah, New York session actually helped us to push this guy all the way here, and then, guys, the rest was history, man. Eh? And just like that, we're done. This is a 19R, and the other one in one day, this is a 24R. This is how we caught all of these guys in the indices trading room. Inside, Baba. You see, here is it. So yeah, guys, that's about it from me to you guys today. Wishing everybody a profitable, week. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe once again. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Everything will be in my bio, though. No, not in my bio. What's the word? In my description. There we go. Everything will be in my description. So yeah, see you guys in the next video.